Hi, I'm Shoshana Fleury, and I'll be doing a video essay for the question, why do you want to continue your education? Well, if I look back on my life, a significant part of the person I've come to be has come from my experiences in theater, where I learned to unleash my creativity and where I realized what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. As a young child, I longed to participate in theater. At age 12, my parents allowed me to audition for schools and other local shows. Although my first few roles were small chorus parts, I quickly fell in love with the theater experience. The feeling of working with an ensemble to create a unique world that existed only on stage, and the sensation of moving as one with other artists to breathe life into a performance that started as nothing more than a paper script felt extraordinary to me. Upon entering high school, I immediately joined the drama club, enrolled in theater classes, and began studying the world of theater and the various aspects that went into creating a show. I began to research and experiment with different jobs in the creation of the theatrical arts. I tried working a stage crew, learning about the technical aspects, including lighting, sound, stage, construction, costuming, and props. I also explored photography and video. I got a professional SLR camera and went to photography camp. I also love the art of photography, and I started to take my camera everywhere so I could capture and edit images of my life from my own perspective, and I soon started to create films of my own. Film gave me the opportunity to express my creativity in my own projects. I started experimenting with music videos, as I'd always loved the way music could so fluidly convey emotion. After making a few films, I found I loved every aspect of the process, from costuming to casting, and storyboarding to cinematography. When I started to seriously think about the next step after high school, I knew I would need a strong foundation if I wanted to go into such a competitive field. At college, I hoped to find a network of students with the same passion for filmmaking as me. I also hope for a place where I can experiment with the evolving technologies in the art of film, experience different careers in the industry, and find the one that is the best fit for me, and to find a college where I can always rely on a great network of alumni. Describe any personal obstacles, hardships, and/or extraordinary circumstances that you are currently experiencing or have overcome. When I was growing up, my parents sent me to a Jewish Orthodox day school, wanting to give me a good Jewish education. While some of the concepts they taught me seemed intense, the school overall gave me a strong foundation for values I still hold today. However, there was one subject where I look back and I'm disappointed in the way it was taught. In 4th grade, we began to study the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. My teacher would tell us that Jews should rightfully have the biblical land of Israel and talked about Palestinians negatively, without mentioning the complicated history of how Jews got the land for modern Israel. I never questioned what they taught me until the summer of 2014, when I traveled to Israel and ended up in the middle of the conflict. Before I left, 3 Israeli teenagers were abducted on the West Bank border by Hamas agents. About a day before my trip, I heard that their bodies were found. My first night in Israel, a group of radical Jews murdered a Palestinian teen in revenge, fueling the anger on both sides. I was shocked that a group of Jews would do something so cruel, contrary to what our beliefs stood for. A few days later, missiles started flying from Gaza into Israel. The danger became real at 2 a.m. one night when I was awoken by a bomb siren and had to run to my hotel shelter. The next morning, I heard that a missile landed half a mile away from me, and I realized I had dodged death. While in Israel, I also had the opportunity to meet Palestinians through a Palestinian Jewish teen exchange program. Rather than discussing the conflict, we spoke about our own lives. I was surprised to see how similar these teens were to me, contrary to what I was told in school. As my trip proceeded, I continued to learn more about the unfair treatment Palestinians experience. For example, there was Israeli-controlled checkpoints each day where Palestinians had to lift up their shirts to show they weren't hiding bombs. I was astounded to see that Israel would do something so humiliating to its own citizens. After returning home, I was feeling conflicted about what to believe and decided to do more research on my own. A lot of what I found was hard to read. American news was mostly anti-Israel, accusing Israel of war crimes and calling it an apartheid state. I knew firsthand how real the terrorism was in Israel, and that Israel itself was just trying to protect all of its residents, not just the Jewish ones. But I also knew that among the citizens and supporters of Israel, there was much hate towards Palestinians, triggering discrimination and tension. I also saw that the pro-Israel supporters ignored or denied Israel's faults. I came to realize that Israel wasn't the perfect land I thought it was, and wish I had been taught a more balanced view of the conflict. Learning the truth wasn't easy, but now I feel like I can accurately discuss what is going on without a bias. I believe that having confidence in the truth allows my words to have more power and authority. I still strongly support Israel, but now I know that things can be changed and there is a better way. I know now not to question the truth in the future, even though it could be painful. I know that when people blindly believe something without questioning it, they risk harming others. This has occurred in history many times, and as many people say, if we can't remember the past, we are doomed to repeat it. I believe that if Israeli advocates were to recognize that there is pain not just on the Israeli side, but also for the Palestinians, we could come a little bit closer to ending the conflict. Thank you.